What's up, guys? It's Ben with 2020 election predictions, and today we are going to focus on what everyone is talking about in the news, whether you think he's being serious or not. Obviously, Kanye West, everyone's talking about it. He's already had a bigger impact than I think that he should have. But let's just dive right into the tweet that has everyone's attention. Even people who are like serious political scientists, political commentators. I mean, it's all over, like CNN, Fox, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. I've actually been surprised at how many news outlets have picked up on this, but it did get a ton of attention on Twitter yesterday, and still to our day, people who are typically like the people writing the political columns on these websites are still looking at it. So let's just look at his tweet and try to interpret it. So, what Kanye West said on July 4th, Independence Day, he said, "We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. I'm running for president of the United States." He has announced previously that he was going to run for president of the United States, but he said because he's a Trump supporter, he has announced this in the past. He said as early as 2016, right after the election, that while he didn't vote in the 2016 election, he would have voted for Trump. And in 2018, you'll remember he came to the White House. It was kind of this big photo op with him wearing the MAGA hat and him saying, "I like Donald Trump's energy." He has the dragon energy. It's pretty interesting. But this tweet is pretty cryptic. I mean, he doesn't give a lot of information, and frankly, he did say this in the past that he's going to run for president in 2024, and this tweet doesn't. I mean, the timing is a little odd, and it does signal that he's probably going to run for president this year, but he very well could have kind of done this as a publicity stunt and just saying, "Hey, I'm still running for president in 2024," because he doesn't want to get in the way of Trump. Trump's re-election. He doesn't want to run against someone who he supports. But he said hashtag 2020 vision, which I don't necessarily means that he's going to run in 2020. His next tweet, which was very cryptic as well, I would think he would try to follow up this tweet. He got 1.1 million likes, which is a lot for Twitter, but he has not followed up on this tweet a lot. Kim Kardashian, his wife, responded with, I think, a picture of the American flag, and Elon Musk said, "Kanye West, you have my full support." But in my view, I do not think Kanye West is seriously thinking about running for president. If we look at the predicted website, we see that the betting odds for Kanye West even running for president in 2020 are not above 50 cents. It has bounced around. So obviously, if you were betting and you bought this at like 5 cents or 6 cents, this would have been a really good bet to buy low and sell high. But it has bounced around a lot in the last 24 hours after he did that tweet. And I was actually very interested to look at the rules, because how do you really determine if someone's running for president or not? There's a lot of gray area there. But for the predicted rules, it says by filing a statement of candidacy or a statement of organization of an exploratory committee. It's very kind of vague. I think it's not. It's like and or like intentions to run, fundraising activity, hiring of campaign staff. So I'll be very interested, because I mean, obviously people are trading on this a lot. Let me look. So like the total volume right after it happened, I mean, 30,000 people are trading on here, and I don't know how much money that is going to be, but it's pretty interesting. So let's kind of look back at the history of what Kanye West has done. People have been theorizing that Kanye is actually colluding with President Trump in an effort to take away some of the black vote from Joe Biden. I do not think this is the case. I think that this would have been leaked by the press. I mean, President Trump can really not do anything that's secretive. I don't think that the press won't get a hold of. I mean, even some confidential information we've seen leaked to the press when I mean that really shouldn't be happening. So doing something this high profile, I do not think that could have happened. Maybe Kanye by himself, being a Trump supporter, is trying to do this, but I really think this is being overhyped by the media. The media loves stories like these and kind of just offering their hot political take, like, oh, it's a conspiracy. The media loves to run with these stories because we love to read these stories. We love the conspiracy, the collusion, but I really don't think this is going to happen. And if we look at this Politico article, which is actually pretty interesting, there was a poll conducted right after Kanye West kind of took his public stance in favor of Trump. This was when he tweeted, like, I like the way Candace Owen thinks, and basically saying that, like, uh, liberals bully me, that I'm an independent thinker. And he posted that tweet with a MAGA hat with his producers. I think he was doing an album. But it said that only 9% of Black adults had a favorable opinion of Kanye West, 13% of Democrats compared to 20% of white adults and 34% of Republicans surveyed. So this is very interesting. I think Kanye West, I mean, regardless of what you think on his political views, I mean, has made a pretty big name for himself. And I think a lot of people like his music. I mean, he started making the music in the 90s. I think I'm not a huge old school Kanye follower, but I think College Dropout. I mean, Kanye West is a big name, kind of the epitome of success, especially in the Black community. Kanye West rose up. I mean, he's really gone beyond just being a rapper. He has his own fashion brand with the Yeezys. And he has demonstrated himself to be a pretty good businessman. So I would think these numbers would be higher. I definitely think after he kind of publicly came out and being pro-Trump, that his numbers declined. But I'm frankly pretty surprised they declined this much. And I would be really interested to look more deeply at this poll and see maybe there's questions beforehand that maybe led people to more highly disapprove of Kanye West. Because, I mean, whether you like Kanye West or not, I mean, I know after the Taylor Swift stuff, I mean, he's a very he captures our attention. He's a very popular figure. So what this article is saying is that probably this idea that he would take Black support from Biden is overhyped. Probably not that many young people will vote. And even on my personal social media feeds, I have seen so much stuff like, don't vote for Kanye West. It's a joke. A vote for Kanye is a vote for Trump. This is more of my liberal friends, kind of my young liberal college friends. But it is very interesting because people are taking it very, very seriously, because I think I've seen comparisons to Kanye West to Jill Stein, because Jill Stein did have a fairly big impact on the 2016 election. If all of Jill Stein's votes went to Hillary Clinton in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, then Hillary Clinton would have won the election. Obviously, there's more votes for Gary Johnson, and I actually do think that Donald Trump would have gotten more of those Gary Johnson votes than Donald Trump. So a lot of Democrats just like to focus on Jill Stein, because probably the Green Party candidate, probably more of those votes would have gone to Hillary Clinton. But in 2020, as a result of the high third-party turnout, I don't expect there to be a huge third-party candidate that is going to garner a lot of the vote, because I think that the Trump people, even if they're lean Trump, they're going to vote for Trump at the end of the day. And I think I think Biden has coalesced the Democratic Party a lot bigger and better than a lot of people would have assumed beforehand. Hillary Clinton did not consolidate her Democratic support very well. I think about 10% of Bernie Sanders supporters voted for Donald Trump, and a lot just stayed home at the end of the day. African American turnout was very low. In the 2020 election, with all the craziness going around, I do expect there to be not as much third-party voting. So I really don't think Kanye is going to have a huge impact in terms of people voting for him. I could see this being a charade, saying that, look, Biden is not the champion for the Black community. He said, if you have a problem deciding between Trump or me, then you aren't Black, which is just a horrible comment, and implying that people should vote based on their race, kind of. And Biden has had some stuff with the crime bill in the past, and maybe some racially insensitive comments back in the 70s, and he was friends with a lot of segregationist senators. So we will definitely see how that plays out. I do think there's going to be some Black opposition to Biden, but I think overall that Black turnout is going to be higher, and that's only going to help Biden. And I really don't think that Kanye will have a huge difference. So that is my take on the whole Kanye mess. I think it's so silly. I'm even making a video on it. But please subscribe here if you haven't already, and be on the lookout for more videos tomorrow and in the coming week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.